Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. As you can see, I'm outside. I'm sitting outside today. It's Tuesday, it's August 13th. It's a beautiful day here in New York. So I'm sitting outside for the evening. I'm going to go back upstairs soon, but for now I'm outside. I wanted to shoot this video because an important subject is in the news, child sex abuse. I was on Reddit a little while ago and somebody else posted a notice that anyone who's PMO, physically and mentally out, anyone who's PMO should be sharing this information with with their JW family members. And so that made me, that really, I want to thank that person because that set me off. I said, oh my God, I should make a video and let the teens and young adults know that they should be talking about this subject. So let's get into it. Let's just get right to it. Right. So yesterday, Monday, August 12th, Zalkin law firm announced that they have a child sex abuse lawsuit against Jehovah's Witnesses. So this is what's happening. Zalkin law firm is suing, right? They're suing Watchtower Bible Tract Society of Pennsylvania. And in addition, they are suing the 8 members of the governing body. And as far as I know, that's the first time that for a child sex abuse case, all 8 members of the governing body are being sued. So I am really stoked about this case. It will set a precedent. And keep in mind, the governing body is responsible for policy affecting 8 million Jehovah's Witnesses worldwide. So if this case is successfully litigated against Watchtower, and they win this case, it could really just send ripple effects all throughout all the other cases globally. So I'm really, on the edge of my seat with this case. Another thing that makes this case so very interesting is that the media is on board about the Jehovah's Witness child sex abuse problem. So starting today, they started releasing, and this is going to be for the next few days all across the United States. They are going to be releasing stories at regular intervals throughout the day about child sex abuse, Jehovah's Witness child sex abuse. And so that's what I wanted to notify you of. If you are a teen or young adult, please keep an eye on the news. Even if you have to go on Google and just type in Jehovah's Witness child sex abuse, and all the stories will come up. So, that's what I mean. I want you to stay on the news, right? Track the news. And I want you to pick a time that's good, maybe when when you're at the table and you're eating dinner, just a calm time of the day, and talk with your parents about the child sex abuse cases. The reason why I always encourage you to use the child sex abuse case as a good talking point with your parents is because if you bring up like the United Nations membership, issue, they're going to say you must have been on apostate websites. Who have you been talking to? It's going to be a problem, right? So that's why I don't recommend you use subjects like that or the 607 BCE issue. I recommend you use child sex abuse because that's in the news. It's not something you went digging for. It's not something you had to talk to an apostate to find out about. It's all over the news. So that's what makes it a perfect subject to discuss with your parents. Another thing I wanted to mention is a lot of you say that you don't want to leave the cult without your siblings, without your parents, without your friends. So my advice to you is to take this subject and talk to them about it as well. Anyone you want to leave the cult with you, this is the time to talk to them about this subject. And as I said, it's in the news, so it shouldn't raise any red flags, right? So that's what I want to encourage you to do. One of the things that always comes up, I find whenever I bring this subject up with a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses, the first thing they tell me is that this is fake news, that the child sex abuse issue is fake news. And for those of you who are not familiar with Jehovah's Witnesses, I want to explain why that is. For me, okay, I'm here. So for many years, right, when Jehovah's Witnesses heard about child sex abuse, it was always the Catholic Church. And we would go, tis, 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 shame on them. it's terrible. They don't know what they're doing. Blah blah blah. Right? And we always we always heard about it with the Catholic Church. Thing is that no one has ever, no one from Watchtower, no one from the governing body, no one has ever disclosed to witnesses that this is an ongoing problem within the cult itself, right? And so, but that's what we would expect. We would expect to hear this news from them. And because they haven't been forthcoming about this subject, many Jehovah's Witnesses feel that it's made up news by apostates. Satan is trying to test them, the world, all of this, right? So that's why a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses do not believe this is legitimate news. It's because they would have expected to hear about it from Watchtower. So now all of these news outlets are coming forward with all these stories, and the apostates are telling them, this is an issue, this is a problem. And so now it's finally coming to the surface, and, Watchtower was late to the table. And so, again, a lot of people are leery about this. They don't trust the news and so forth and so on. So, again, when I've talked about this issue to a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses, a lot of them tell me it's fake news. One of the things I want you to ask them, should they make that statement, is the first question you should ask them is, how come this issue isn't fake news whenever it's the Catholic Church? When it's the Catholic Church, no questions, no problems, it's true, shame on the Catholic Church. When this same issue is brought up with Jehovah's Witnesses, no, that can't be true, it's fake news, they're trying to get us, we're the true religion and they're trying to take us down. So, that's one question you should ask them. You believe it when it's the Catholic Church being accused of this crime? Why do you have a problem when it's now Jehovah's Witnesses being accused of the same crime? Another argument you can make is if it's fake news, right? Then Watchtower should be suing both the news reporter as well as the news outlet that released the story. So if it's fake news, Watchtower should be suing both parties. And if they aren't, then it must not be fake news, right? So those are the two things I wanted to make clear with this video, that you should definitely not lose this opportunity. So for the next few days, all across the USA, they're going to be talking about this item, this news topic, the child sex abuse problem. And so I want you to take advantage of this opportunity and talk with your parents about it. And I don't want you to bombard them with this every day at the table and all this. Maybe once every 2-3 days you could bring up this subject, but let them know it's bothering you, that you find it disturbing. My problem with this thing is, if you can't protect children, why should you be leading an organization of over 8 million people? If you cannot protect them and keep them safe, then you have no business being leaders over 8 million plus people. So that's what I want you guys to concentrate on for the next few days. Try sharing as many child sex abuse stories with your friends and family members as possible. There are some news stories where they just tell the facts about child sex abuse, but what I recommend is, if you can find a personal story where a survivor, an actual survivor, shares their experiences with the press, I think you would get a little bit more, a better response from your parents, because now they have a face to go with this issue. They have a face, a voice, a name, all of that to go with this issue. So it's no longer impersonal. Now it's, you have a human being, right? And I think that will make more of an impact than just a story with facts and figures and cold data. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Please talk to your family members and your friends and try to get them on this subject. And share with them how you feel about this subject, but also find out from them how they feel about it. And again, it's not that you're trying to get them to leave the cult, the next morning, right? You just want them to get them thinking critically about the cult. And what that means is, now you're getting them to a place where they're a little bit more open-minded, and now they're willing to question the cult and its policies and its practices and all of that. That's all you're trying to do, to get them to a place where they now where they're now not so closed-minded about the cult, and now they're willing to investigate matters, question matters, and so forth and so on. So that's what I want you guys to do for the next couple of days. And like I said, this is all across the United States. at regular intervals throughout the day. Every day they're going to be releasing child sex abuse stories. So this is an opportunity for us to really, get this out there. All right. So I'm going to get back upstairs. I'm going to upload this to YouTube. Have a great night, everybody. I hope you guys could hear me. I know it's a little bit noisy out here, but hopefully, you got the gist of it. But I'll talk to you next time. Love you guys. Bye.